guys, how you going? No. How are you doing? Oh, God. Hey, well, I'm stuck in the boys' dorm. Girls, if you're thinking about sneaking into the boys' dorm, don't. It stinks. They miss the toilet. They have nothing conversation. Yes, guys, I heard all your conversations last night. So, girls, don't even bother. It's just not worth it. You know what? And yes, that was a girl in your shower that the guys were a bit concerned about. That was me. It's all right. Nothing I haven't seen before. Alrighty. I'm married, okay. Alrighty. Guys, this morning we're going to get straight into it. But can I tell you something? I'm going to be real with you this morning, and I want you to be real with me. Okay? What I mean by that is that as I'm talking, there's going to be some things that are going to start stirring in your heart. I know that because God's already told me that that's going to happen. But some of those things are going to start stirring aren't real nice. And what's going to happen is one of two things. You're going to try and bury that down, or what you're going to do is you're going to get mad with me for bringing it up. One or two things will happen. What I encourage you to do is to not bury it. Don't get mad with me. I'm really nice, really. Don't get mad with me. Don't bury it, but say, hey, God, you're obviously showing me that for a reason. And see, this is what Easter's all about. It's about laying down things at this cross. That's why I've asked the cross to be kept here. So when that starts to come up, I want you to look at that cross. Alrighty? Okay, let's get into it. Do you like my drawing? Very creative, aren't I? Okay. Body, soul, and spirit. God created us 3 parts. Body, touch your body. Like it or not, that is your body. That's the one that you have got. Soul, which is your mind, your will, and your emotions. Does everyone here have emotions? You feel happy? Show me a happy face. You feel sad? Oh, your happy face is better. Happy face? Happy face! Good. I'm from a Pentecostal church. We need response here, people. Okay? Need response. Huh? Thank you. Love that. And then we have a spirit. And that is how God created us. We have 3 parts to us. John 4:24 says, God is spirit, and those that worship him must worship him in spirit. Those that want to have relationship with him must do it out of their spirit. Those that want to get to know them must do it out of their spirit. The spirit is the true person that you really are. And we're going to be talking about that this morning. So you can't worship God out of your emotions. You may get emotional, but it's a very surface thing. It has to be out of your spirit. The problem is that there's sin. You can tell me what sin is. Not you. Oh, come on, guys. What's sin? Kinda, yeah. Basically, all sin is living life without God. Sin isn't, well, to an extent. It's not just you doing your drugs, you're sleeping around. They're consequences of sin. But sin is just doing life without God. And you see, what happens is that we are meant to do spirit to spirit. God with our spirit. That's how we were created. But what happens is that we decide, no, we're not going to do life with God. I can do it on my own, which is pride. And what happens is that we fill up our emotions, our mind, and our will with all these other things, trying to get the very thing that God wants to give us in the beginning. But then all these things create a wall. So our spirit can't commune with God. It's very simple. And is it no wonder, because remember our spirit is our true self, is it no wonder that we can't then be real about who we are? We put up all these masks. We pretend to be cool. You know, we belong to the punk group, or we belong to the goths, or we belong to whatever group you want to belong to as a way of trying to find who we really are. See, the cross is all about Jesus reaching out to us with his love to help us be the person that God created us to be. It means smashing down all those walls around our mind, our emotions and our will, and just getting back to having a relationship with God. It's really very simple. It's setting us free from all the things that we put on our wall, like bricks. We put these bricks up, and God wants to come in and just smash down those walls. The guilt, the shame, all those things. They're the walls that go around our soul when we decide to live life without God. You know, and is it no wonder we always have a void inside of us? Because there's this spirit in there crying out that wants to have a relationship with God, but can't because of all the crap that we put in our life. You know how to say crap in the church? Oh, that's right. I'm in the Uniting Church. Alrighty. Look, I want to tell you my story. Not to glorify what happened or anything like that, but so that you get a picture of how this works. See, I grew up in what was so-called a normal family, but it wasn't quite so normal, as most of us know about even our own families. It was just all a bit of a mask. See, my mother had kids because that was what was expected of you. She didn't really want us. Because of her bad childhood, she was unable to show us love. Her way of showing us love was to buy us something, which might sound great, but, you know, it'd be nice to just say, hey, I love you kids. But, you know, some of us never ever hear that. And for me, we never ever heard it. The only time I ever heard it in my house was the day I got kicked out of home and my father told me that he loved me. It's a bit late when you're getting kicked out, isn't it? Because of this, the rejection and the abandonment, even though I was a little kid, started the bricks in my wall. Just the hurt and that whole thing of, even though I didn't quite understand why, that resentment started in my heart. And because my mum was so preoccupied with her own life rather than us, she didn't even notice that my grandfather had started sexually abusing me. Didn't see it at all, even though he was in the house at the times when he was doing that to me. You know, I remember a time when my parents left me with him, and he enticed me over as a small child with lollies. Who likes lollies? Still do. Enticed me over with some lollies. Okay? I went over to him, and he proceeded to rape me. My parents came home without a bit earlier than we had expected. So the way that he decided to cover that up was to tell them that I had been naughty and that he had smacked me. Because how else is he going to explain the redness in those areas? So he said that he had smacked me. My mother, in her lack of wisdom, picked me up and proceeded to belt me again for being a naughty girl. I can remember while getting belted, looking at my father, saying, please help me. Even though it wasn't with my mouth, my heart was saying, help me, Dad. I don't know how to put into words what has happened to me. I don't know how to tell you that this man has just raped me. But he turned away from me and scolded me for being naughty also. You know, at that point in my heart, I decided that people were not trustworthy and that I had to do life on my terms and that nobody was going to get close to me again. A big wall went up that way. A huge wall. You know, I even went to Sunday school as a little girl and I used to say, God, why? 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 And even though I loved and wanted to have and know God, I again turned away from him as well too.